Welcome to yet another exciting educational video brought to you by UpVision Concepts Academy. So today's video, we'll be looking at biology. Our topic is nutrition in plants and animals. So we'll look at the key definition and concepts using simple languages. What is nutrition? What are the types of nutrition? What are the models or the modes of heterotrophic nutrition? We'll look at plants nutrition, that is photosynthesis, how it's being made, how plants make their own food. We look at the nutrition in animals, 5 stages, where you have the injection, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. You just be seeing the shun. Look at the types of animal diet. You have the herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. All right, so sit tight to enjoy this video and learn some key terms on nutrition in plants and animals. If you are new to this video and need to subscribe, kindly subscribe to our channel to get exciting videos in this STEM for your viewing and learning purposes. So we'll dive in. What is nutrition? Now, nutrition is the process by which living organisms obtain and use food substances for growth, repair, and energy maintenance. So it's the process by which living organisms obtain and use food substances for growth, okay, repair, and maintenance, energy and maintenance. So what are the types of nutrition? So we have 2 types of nutrition basically. We have the autotrophic nutrition. This is self-feeding. And we have the heterotrophic nutrition. This is dependent feeding. Now for the autotrophic nutrition, organisms make their own food from simple substances. Okay, so organisms make their own food from simple substances. Okay, so what do we mean by this statement? Example, green plants uses photosynthesis to make their own food. Okay, we'll look at photosynthesis later, but you see that photosynthesis is where you utilize the sun, and the green plant being exposed to the sun makes it to get its food manufactured through the process known as photosynthesis. Okay, the next one type of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. This is dependent feeding. This is where organisms feed on other living organisms. Organisms feed on other organisms. Okay, so example of this type is example is animal, fungi, some bacteria. You can name it. You know how even human beings, how we eat plants, animal, fungi, bacteria, and so on. So this is an example of heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so we'll dive into the modes of heterotrophic nutrition. How do organisms that depend on other organisms to feed on, what are the modes? So I have a table here showing the modes, description, and example. So the first one is Holozoic. For Holozoic heterotrophic nutrition, it is ingestion. Ingestion means taking in to eat. Injection of solid food and digestion inside the body. So you eat food and it digests it inside the body. Example is human and dogs. That is injection. Okay. So the next one is saprophytic. Saprophytic nutrition is feeding on dead organic matter. Feeding on dead organic matter. Example is fungi and bacteria. So fungi and bacteria feed on a matter that is already dead. And the last one is parasitic, and this is feeding on living host, causing harm. What they are feeding on is still living, and they are eating it up, and it's causing harm. Example is tapeworm and lice. Okay. Okay, so we have nutrition in plants. It's known as photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants use sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to make glucose and oxygen. What is the purpose? To eat, right? To feed. All right, so this is the word equation. Carbon dioxide and water are the ingredients. In presence of sunlight will give us glucose, which is what they need, and the oxygen is given out. So by chemical notation, carbon dioxide is this, adding to 6 molecules of water. In presence of sunlight, catalyst, and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green component of the plant. Chlorophyll, yes, this is it. Chlorophyll will give us glucose is 6 molecules of carbon, H12C6, and oxygen is given. Now, this is a balanced equation for photosynthesis. Okay, so we have the 5 stages of nutrition in animals. So I'm going to be reading you through the series of the shuns, and shuns. A series of 5 of them. The first of is injection. Injection is where you take in the food. Taking in the food into the mouth of the animal is injection. Digestion means breaking down the food in soluble forms. So inside the animal or human system, there is a system that breaks down this food into soluble form. Soluble form means form that can be absorbed into the body. The third one is absorption. Absorption is when the digested food is now entering the bloodstream. Okay? And assimilation is when the absorbed food is used for energy and growth. So energy and growth is the product or is the end point of this food that we are eating, taking in. Okay, so for the ones that are not being used, you have ejection. That is where you now remove the undigested food. So it is a very simple series. I know you know all this in terms of the processes, but the name might not ring a bell. But now in this class, in this video, we've broken down the processes or the stages of nutrition in animals, starting from injection to digestion to absorption to assimilation and egestion. Okay, so we have the types of animal diet. So we have the herbivores. The herbivores eat plants only. Goats, cows are examples of herbivores. The carnivores eat meat only. Lion, tigers, and the others. Then the omnivores eat both plants and animal, e.g. humans eat both plants and animals. Okay, so I'm going to be giving us some kind of mnemonics to remember some of the things we have already done. For instance, when I say that photosynthesis is the process of making food for animals, for plants. Okay, the mnemonic for remembering photosynthesis. What's a mnemonic? It's just something to help students to remember points or remember how to present what you know, photosynthesis. So this mnemonic is for remembering the products of photosynthesis and the reactants and the products. What you use to make food and what comes out for the food for plants. Remember I said that is carbon dioxide, okay, plus oxygen, Okay, sorry for the distraction. So, for the carbon dioxide plus water will give us oxygen and glucose, right? Glucose and oxygen. Okay, so this is what photosynthesis is all about. Okay, so if you want to remember, I can just use this word C-O-W, then S. We can use this. So C is for carbon, O is for oxygen, W is for water, and S is for glucose. Yes, not the S part of it is glucose. So you can use cows to represent it. So you can remember where you have first and third is the reactant, and second and last is the product. Okay, so this is a way of helping us to remember. You know, in biology, you need to really bring out the points the way it is. So you learn how to use mnemonics. I can also give you a mnemonic idea for the stages of animal nutrition. Okay, stages of animal nutrition. Remember, I told you about them, 5 of them. Animal nutrition. So I can decide to use this as a mnemonic, like I do all amazing experiment. Yes, I do all amazing experiment. So this mnemonics, where I stands for injection, let me write it down, injection. D stands for digestion. A stands for absorption. This A. The second A stands for assimilation, and the experiment E stands for egestion. So these are ways to I do all amazing experiment is another way. For carnivores, herbivores, heterotrophics, he helps some parasites. Okay, so tricks for heterotrophics. Let me just put it here. Tricks for heterotrophics. Can use this one. Tricks for heterotrophics. Okay, so heterotrophs. Yes. So I can use this mnemonic. He helps some parasites. Just to simulate your interests in using mnemonics, H here stands for Holozoic. Second H stands for herbivores. S here stands for Saprophytic. And P here stands for Parasitic, directly parasitic. So these are ways that can help us to remember what we have done so far. Okay, so here we have an experiment to test for starch in leaf photosynthesis. Actually, this question is WAEC 2022 question, where students were told to describe an experiment to test for starch in the leaf. So this is how to go about it. To describe an experiment to test for starch in the leaf. So to test for starch in the leaf, that is to prove that there's photosynthesis that will occur. The first step is to boil a leaf in water. So that boiling kills it. Secondly, is to boil in alcohol. After doing that, boiling alcohol removes chlorophyll. Then thirdly is to rinse leaf in warm water. So this process will soften it. And number 4, add iodine solution. This checks for starch. So when we add iodine solution, what happens? If photosynthesis had occurred, the iodine turns blue-black, indicating the presence of starch. So this is just a simple way of demonstrating the presence of photosynthesis in the leaf. Okay, so we'll wrap up this video with a look at the human digestive system. Okay, just put it this way: the human digestive system. Okay, so it's a system where we can even represent all the forms of the process of nutrition, starting from egestion to digestion to absorption, assimilation, and injection. So it starts from the mouth, where you have this, the mouth here, the mouth area where the food enters. This is the esophagus. So injection happens here. Esophagus, this is the stomach, and you see where you have the digestion taking place, the breakdown of food. The absorption is in the intestine. This is the small intestine, and this is the large intestine. So it comes in here to the small intestine and goes and enters into the large intestine. And where you have food that are not digested, they come out through the anus via injection. So if you are told to actually do a diagram like this, you could ensure that you have like 7 to 8 labyrinths. It could be more complex than this. But at least the main part you should mention is the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, the liver, and the pancreas. This is the pancreas. The liver is somewhere here. The liver is somewhere here. Okay, I didn't put that in the diagram, but just to let you know that this is where the liver is. Okay, so I can just introduce it briefly. Just somewhere here, liver, something like that. Okay, it's connected to the stomach. So this is the liver. Okay, so all these are connected to digestion of a human system. So by way of an assignment, you could go and search for what happens at these stages. But this video just wants to cover the process from injection to egestion. Understand? So go to the video, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, share to a friend who is interested, comment and like what we are doing. So I hope this video has been informative for you. I'd like to thank you for viewing.